It's going to be interesting. I've never had, a car this good at Watkins Glen and being able to put it all together. I feel like that confidence you get, leaving Sonoma, having those good of runs, you come here and you run better. I mean, I won last year at Sonoma, came here and run fourth. This year, obviously didn't win, but I passed a lot of cars and had a ton of speed, and there's a lot of confidence that goes with that when you're passing cars and putting them behind you. So just that confidence is a big part of this sport, and certainly holds true when we come back here.
Let's take two questions here. The gentleman with the cap, and then Dustin.
Yeah, Dave Sully, Area Auto Racing News. Clint, after the wreck a couple of years ago, they reconfigured that turn and made it much wider. Did you notice that? Did that affect your running of the lap, the one after the wreck on the 2 years?
I'm going to be brutally honest. I didn't even know that they changed anything, but that is one of the toughest corners on this racetrack. It's hard to not overcharge a corner because as you get down into one, it's downhill. It's a little bit bumpy. And these things start to hop the rear tires anyway. And as soon as that happens, the only way to get out of a wheel hop is to let off the brakes or touch the gas. And you're out of time and out of real estate and can't do either one of those. So, it's so tricky to get in there. Not overcook the corner and obviously not undercharge, but to be able to get speed in turn one is crucial. And then on restarts, I mean, you're fanned out 3-4 wide. That's your first opportunity at messing up in a big way, and I think we saw that on that restart. But after that, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like. It seems like you still, to find speed, you got to be able to make the corner good, cut the corner good in turn one, and stay underneath that curb. If you get way out there for whatever reason, you think there's a lot of track out there, but you get out there and it's slower.
Let's go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, Motor Racing Network. Clint, you said this is the best car you had at Watkins Glen, so is it just more allowing you to do that?
Well, it's camouflage, I mean, that's a big part of that, but
what are you able to do more with this car?
Hide. Definitely can sneak up on a competition in a camouflage car. You're able to sneak up and be a little bit stealthier on your prey.
I also want to ask you, you guys as an organization saved your NASCAR, the test at NASCAR tracks, and you're going to be starting to do those here shortly.
Thank God, because it's looking, after the last few weeks, it's looking like we need them.
I was going to say, how important is it for you guys right now?
It's important. I mean, you start out the season, racing to make the chase. Hopefully we're going to be able to do that. And if you do accomplish that, you've got to be able to, reach down and grab another gear. You got to have some more left to beat the competition and race for a championship. And if that means going to the track and testing and doing whatever it takes, that's what it means. And you've got to be able to have that opportunity for yourself. Some of the teams really started the season off struggling and weren't able to do that. They had to use some of their tests. But certainly I think you'll see, business during the week pick up in a big way here in the next few weeks, trying to prepare themselves for the chase. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the time you need them. I hate testing anyway, but if I'm going to test, at least you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. The end of the year is this close. If you start testing at the beginning of the year, you're asking yourself, why in the hell are we here? There's a lot of racing left. Does that make any sense? Okay, good.
Let's go over here to Joe. Raise your hand, Joe.
Progress. I'm getting better at this.
Yes, Clint, the Gen 6 cars, how did they handle out there? Did you notice them being a little more effective in the corners?
Definitely from the first time I was on the racetrack. A little bit at Sonoma, but not near as much as here. This track is so much faster. Just more downforce, more, lower center of gravity, just more grip, and doing so, you carry a tremendous amount of more momentum than we have in the past, I feel like. So, I feel like that, did they really just have to show that? They showed me getting crashed at Phoenix. It sucks.
We asked him to put
by that guy. But
I'm going to put it up here.
Thanks. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, they're fast. Yes, they're extremely fast, and you do feel it. And I think it's, again, how I said earlier, I think it's going to bring out some issues that we haven't seen in a while, brake issues and things like that, tire issues maybe. We're hauling the mail out there and going quite a bit faster than we were. So we'll see what that means for tomorrow's race.
Right here on the front to Reed and to Bob.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire. Clint, almost everybody cut it off after one lap, unless they made a mistake. Was the grip just gone after the first lap?
Pretty much, but I was actually worried. Everybody at the beginning, I don't know if you noticed, was running 2 laps, and their second lap was the best. Again, it's just a hard thing to juggle. That one lap is you're putting it all on the line. Unfortunately, Casey Mears had a really fast car, and I think I saw that he blew the bus stop, and it cost him. That was that one lap. That one opportunity is all you get. You paint yourself in a pretty tight box right there. But fortunately for us, I was able to not make any mistakes. But just as easy. Let me tell you. I was slipping and sliding around, going in the bus stop. I was watching a lap before I came in here, and that's where I lost most of my time. I felt like. A road course guy, a good road course guy could get down through the gearbox and probably stop his car a little bit better than I could and make some time there. And I was right. He seemed like he really gained on me right through there. So, I could have smoked it off in there a little bit harder, but I just as easily could have been spun around and in the tires too.
Other questions? Bob Pockris.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. You said Marcus should win the pole here. Why is he so much better than everybody here?
Come on. Well, his background is in road racing. We don't even have curved roads in Kansas, Bob. We have gravel roads. It's literally go to the end of the mile. If you're lost, go a mile and turn left or right, and another mile. It's the grid system where I'm from. Apparently, they had a lot of road racing in Australia. I've never been there before, but I've watched some of those cars that he grew up, and it just, from the naked eye, Bob, it looks like he should be better at this than we are. I don't think they have a lot of circle tracks over there. Hence why maybe you wouldn't expect a pole on an oval. Would you think? It's just 101. Oh, see, they have one oval in Australia, and they closed it years ago. See, good bit of information there. That's why I would say that he's so fast on these road courses. Wouldn't you think?
Yep, whatever you say.
The question was, why did we expect Marcus Ambrose to sit on a pole on a road course?
I don't know, because he's goes both ways like that a lot.
That's even better answer than I had.
Wow.
I'll leave you with that.
Clint,
Take it and run, folks.
Clint, thanks.
Both ways.
Clint was the warm-up act for Martin Truex. Thank you, Clint.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Martin Truex was our third quickest out there this afternoon, and he drove the number 56 Napa Auto Parts Toyota. He likewise is with Michael Waltrip Racing. And Martin, you won your...
You should see him in our team meetings.
Yeah, I imagine you get a lot done. Martin, tell me about your qualifying effort out here today. Based upon how you won at Sonoma, and they did ask Clint about, it looks like that the folks over at Michael Waltrip Racing are really starting to assert themselves when it comes to road course racing. So maybe talk a little bit about that, and then just being able to have such a good lap here today.
Yeah, it's really, obviously Sonoma and Watkins Glen are completely different as far as racetracks go. They're both road courses. That's about the only similarity. So the fact that our cars have been really good at both the last few years just is definitely a testament to the hard work and all the stuff that the folks at MWR are doing and the cars they've been able to build. And I've never qualified well here before. I've always raced well, but I've never qualified well. And this, based on the speed we had yesterday in our car and race trim, this is definitely a big step for us. So I went out there and tried to somewhat, get a nice, smooth, conservative lap in and hopefully a top 5. And, kind of left a little bit on the table as far as, maybe challenging for the pole. But exactly what we wanted to do, and very happy with that lap, and excited about the race tomorrow.
Questions for Martin? If you have one, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless microphone right over here to the far right. Mike?
Mike Hember, USA Today. The finish of last year's race was obviously really wacky and wild and cars sliding and whatever. How far do you think you can take it here if you're in the top 3 or 4 on that last lap? Is it pretty much anything goes now?
Well, I mean, if it's like a green-white checker deal or a restart or something like that, yeah, I mean, it's restarts at road courses typically get more exciting and more out of control than Martinsville, and I don't understand how that's even possible, but it happens. Sonoma especially, the past few years there, we've gotten in, quite a few of the incidents, and it seems like guys just, road courses are difficult because when you start, you have restarts, especially turn 1 here. Your braking zone and your braking points are so much different than when you're running laps up to speed because you're just not all the way up to speed, and guys kind of dive bomb people and start blocking, and everything gets kind of chaotic at the end of these things. So honestly, at the end, you hope you're up towards the front, and last year was definitely wild with the oil on the track, and that threw it obviously a huge curveball to those guys racing for the win, but it did make for one heck of an exciting race, that's for sure.
Let's go right here to Kaylee, and then we'll go to Reed.
Yeah, Kaylee Davis, ESPN.com. Martin, you and Clint are going to line up alongside and right behind Marcus Ambrose. Is there anything you guys can do as teammates to sort of put pressure on him and maybe force a mistake?
Well, I mean, you can't win the race on the first lap. So I think, first and foremost, we have to, these races are all about getting to the end, taking care of your stuff, having something to race with, at the end. A lot can happen here with strategy. All that stuff has to work out the way you need it to. So, I mean, I certainly won't be trying to, take the lead in the first corner or say I'm going to lead the first lap because that would be, pretty idiotic. So, I think that our cars have the pace to run with him, to race with him. Based on the lap times in practice yesterday, we were faster than he was. So, we'll just have to wait and see. The track conditions are going to be a lot different tomorrow than they were yesterday in practice, and we'll have to be open-minded, ready to make some adjustments and all that. But I feel like we can have a great day tomorrow with the speed that we've had in our car all weekend long.
Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. The number of people have said, talking about saving the stuff for the end, that with the speeds you guys are running here, that brakes may take on more of an importance than they did, say, in the last couple of years. Do you agree with that? And is that going to be something you're going to have to be conscious of throughout the race?
I think at this track you're always conscious of that, the brakes. It's just so fast. You carry so much speed, especially turn 1, but even the inner loop, you're max braking every single lap to run good fast laps. So, yeah, I mean, we did some long runs yesterday just based on trying to figure out what the brakes are going to do with this new car. Last year we ran out of gas at one point and had to come from the back and made it up inside the top 10 and absolutely had no brakes left for the end. So for sure, starting up front helps that. You can kind of conserve a little bit. And if you're going to go after the win at the end, you got to have brakes, because if you don't, the guy behind you is going to drive in, outbrake you and pass you for the win. So brakes are going to be a big thing tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be worse with this car or better. I think based on what we seen yesterday, we had less problems with our brakes. So that's definitely something tomorrow that could be on our side.
Any more questions for Martin? Okay, Martin, thanks for coming in.
Thank
Holly's got one more from Holly Kane.
Holly, I just seen you outside. You could ask me out there,
This is actually a follow-up to what Kerry started off with. Is there any sort of emphasis organization-wide on the road course racing? Because, all of you have done pretty well there.
No, not really. I mean, no more than anywhere else. I don't think, Rob does love road racing. He's out. Rob loves road racing, so, maybe, the guys at the shop are like, we got to do good for Rob, but I don't think so. I just, it's, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. We work hard on it, but no harder than anything else. It just seems like we've got on some things. And Marcus, like I said yesterday, when he was there, he really started the trend of, showing us what little things and areas you need to work on to be good at the road courses. And I think we've just taken that ball and run. And our guys build such great stuff. They focus on the details, and at road courses, the details are what make the difference. Good job, dude.
Thanks, buddy.